Yo, what's going on, Council? And welcome back for another week of anime. This is the Gurren Otaku Council podcast, episode 97. And today, this week, we got the Ishura season 1 anime review, everybody, and of course, much more. But before we get into all that, you would like to join me, my friend McMillian, as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council, everybody. Well, all right. With that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody. Welcome back for another week. As always, hope everybody is doing super fantastic. How you doing today, McMillian?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's been a week here. It has been a week. It's been a week, both in the anime. Well, thankfully, the anime world we've been going smooth. I guess, some may say the leaks here and there been going a little bit crazy. Yes, it has. But then now the gaming industry, that's a whole nother ball game. All right. I don't know what we got going over there right now, but we're gonna stay on the anime side.
Yeah, for the most part, right? Yeah.
All right, everybody. So, as always, McMillian, why don't you go ahead and hit everybody with today's council announcement / agenda?
Yep. So, council announcements for today. Just want to remind everyone, our last episode, which was Delicious in the Dungeon season 1 review, is out now. So, if you haven't listened to it, go ahead and go check that one out. As well as Ace's One Piece 11/17 review and reaction should be out.
11/17 and 11/18.
Okay. Thank you. Got to write that down.
You're good. You're good.
All right, and then with that, we'll go into the agenda for today's episode, which is we're going ahead and start us off with the Ishura season 1 review. And then we'll be going into anime news and giving the weekly rec as always, and then rounding the episode off with My Hero 153 and 154 review / discussion. So, hope you all enjoyed the episode for today.
That is correct. Well, all right. So, as McMillan just said, we're gonna be going ahead and hopping into our Ishura season 1 anime, everybody. And Ishura can be found on Hulu and Disney Plus, and it was animated by Studio Passion. Is that what they're saying?
I think so. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
All right. They got a lot of passion coming out of that studio there. But yeah, so McMillian, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody? Well, before that, so actually starting, this week actually on the podcast now, along with our, seasonal reviews here and our movie reviews here, everybody, we're gonna be doing spoiler free reviews as well as our spoiler reviews. So for this first half of the Easter review is gonna be our spoiler free review. So if you haven't checked it out yet, but you still want to hear something about the show, once again, spoiler free review here.
Yep. So I guess I'll just start off by saying, for those that don't know what Ishura is, it's an anime that came out like the winter season of this year. So kind of top of the year basically. And it's an isekai story, but it features multiple vignettes or views from different characters. And just to go a little bit into like well, how do you want to do this, Ace? Because it's the first time. So should we just go into our reviews?
Well, yeah, just give the premise and the synopsis of the show, and then we'll go into our reviews.
Okay, so premise, basically, it's isekai, but it focuses on multiple different characters that are all extremely powerful. It takes place in this world where a demon king who was originally like kind of ruling the world in fear or had fear, basically kind of like over citizens the world, he dies, but the hero who kills this him never comes forward. And so people begin to wonder, how is the Demon King actually dead? Do we really have a power that could protect us from other demonic forces or evil things? And this leads to a whole basically like breakdown of like people wanting to either like figure out who the hero could be, discover if there are other dangers coming up, but like that led basically to this one nation who is like in charge of what it seems like to be, I guess, like has the biggest pool in this world. They're like
the biggest city in the world, they say.
Yeah, we're going to host a tournament to determine who the hero is, since the hero has never like come forth. And from there, we just get introduced to a whole bunch of different like cast of characters. And it's just a wild ride, basically. As we like learn more so about the world and also these OP figures. So
Correct. So, for the spoiler-free reviews here, both me and McMillian, and of course, as we go along and experiment with these, we're probably gonna switch these up. But both me and McMillan, we've written down like a small little paragraph here, a paragraph or two, for our spoiler-free review for Ishura season one here. I guess I'll just read mine here. So, Ishura is
Okay.
a is Ishura is a show where if all the overpowered isekais MCs got pulled into one show, into one world altogether. Though the first half of the season is a little slow pace, it's held together by introducing both the main characters and a surprisingly interesting story for the season, with the big battle coming in the latter half. The animation was solid throughout the season, and the action choreography was well done as well. If you're looking for a simple yet well done battle anime, check this show out.
Okay. All right. So mine is very well, obviously it's somewhat similar, but like so for me I wrote it shows an anime that asked the question, what if you take every main character, well no sorry, what if you made every main character of a show OP and then made them all had beef with each other? And you would think that that's a pretty messy premise or story for a story, and you'd be absolutely 100% correct. It is a wild ride from start to finish. Like Ace said, I will admit it is a little bit slow in the first half, but honestly, as it progresses and you get to learn more about the world and characters, you find that actually the show is surprisingly deep and has a very interesting narrative. The only drawback I will say from the show is that we don't get to spend much time with a lot of the characters that are introduced. But if that, but but I will preface, if we did though, we would kind of be losing out on the interesting perspective of how each character sees the world differently, and also like where their main points or views are coming from. It wouldn't be as interesting when everything collided later on in the series. So to sum it all up, Ishura, while being a wild ride with a lot of different points at its core, is a good action fantasy isekai that
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to seeing evolve as we get more of the story.
100%, 100%. Well, all right. So for everybody, oh well, also should we rate this as well? Sure. I gave Ishura season one a 7 out of 10.
Same. I think it's a very strong 7.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, everybody, that is our spoiler-free review of season one Ishura. Once again, you can find this anime on Hulu and Disney's Plus. So now we're going to be heading into the spoiler review. So if you don't want to be spoiler for the show, this is now your chance to click out the video, and or no matter of fact, don't click out the video. Go to the news section,
Section.
or maybe go check out our feature anime of the the season for this season. All right. But yeah. So let's get into it. So, Easter, man. So it took me a minute to get through this one because it was slow at the beginning. So at first I almost didn't want to watch it. But like that first episode was so damn good. I was
Yeah.
like, there has to be something at the end of this season, right? So I was like, I got to keep watching, and thankfully it did. It picked up during the latter half of the season, thankfully.
Mhm.
But w- what do you think about the characters that we got this season? Who was your favorite character? Who was some of your standout characters? Talk to me.
I think okay. So I like I said with you, I do kind of agree that it was a little bit slow, especially considering like how high octane the first episode was compared to the later half. Um, as terms of favorite characters, I think Dakai the Magpie probably would be one of my favorites. Or
Okay.
Dakai the Magpie, the guy
Okay.
who he basically was like an assassin, but he was like, I'm not really a warrior kind of type dude. He was really fun because the episode where we got to see like him get ordered to root out the spies within the
Mhm.
government for the city that he was working for, I was really
Oh
just a
yeah,
really fun episode.
really nice well episode. Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that also kept me watching as well. Even though it was a little slow paced, the character introductions, each character was essentially a flashy, overpowered, showing right one down one side of beating for everybody that they was showing off. So it's like okay, it got me wondering, like, well, how are these characters going to interact with each other, right? How these battles are actually going to go down. And it basically went the way I thought it was going to go down. A lot of technicalities, a lot of um unfortunate, just I'm just that guy, right?
Yeah.
Situations going on as well. But it pretty much boiled down how I thought it was though.
Yeah, no, it was very like us. It was very interesting to see get all these characters like right. Like you meet these people that some of them are very skilled warriors. Some of them just have special abilities. Like the girl who can, she doesn't even have to cast spells like normal people does. She just speaks. She just speaks and it happens. And I was like, damn, that's how the fuck do you beat that?
How do you beat that?
And she didn't really even necessarily fight. It just so happened that she got lucky. And avoided probably what could have been a big revealing thing for her, and she just skated by. But like what surrounded that was like some really dark political shit. So it was, like I said, like the story is the story is really interesting because besides the fact that you have these main characters, it's also like you get to learn about the world, like how the government, how in one city like people are usually scared of wyverns, but you got this city, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we use them as imperial guards, so it's like I fucking have a ball, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And speaking on that, before I get to my favorite character, speaking of some of the world building that you just mentioned, and they don't touch up on it this much, but like I think what was going on is like they mentioned there's like 30 officials or something like that, or 20 something officials from Arithia, and they're all looking for to sponsor their own hero that's going to
mhm.
be going into this battle. So now I'm thinking it is going to be more the situation because at first I was wondering, why do they need a hero if the demon king is dead or whatnot, right? Why do we need a hero, right? And I guess it's more of the like you were saying earlier, the more the political reason, and then the whole image of we're safe now, right? Because
Mhm.
we have the demon king is dead and we have a hero. So if something does happen, right, we do have our hero, right? And
Yep.
then also, like you said, the both the back with the excuse me, the political thing now with each I guess
Official.
figurehead, if you would, or official, there you go,
Mhm.
trying to sponsor their own hero. Of course, now they're probably going to be wanting money and power and whatnot for winning the whole tournament as well, right? Because and whatever other agendas that they're gonna have as well. We only heard about this one lady right now. We really don't even know. Well, we know why she's doing it. Other than she was the daughter of a succubus, and she just kind of wants to get her revenge of people. Other than that,
Yeah.
she doesn't really have any other reason for wanting to join the tournament and things of that nature. But I mean, like you said though, it was the story was more interesting than what I thought it was going to be because I thought it was just going to be just a high action,
Yeah.
show.
No.
But the story was actually well thought out though.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Like to your. Yeah. Exactly. Like you have, like from the beginning of like for episode one, guy shows up, beating ass like katana, destroys an army of fucking mechanical golems. Ridiculous as hell. Doesn't even explain how he does it. But then you get like episodes where they talk, like for instance, the Red Wyvern, the captain of like the Wyvern army or whatever. You find out that his origins are really weird and mysterious
Hmm.
because like one day all his whole species goes mad and starts trying to kill each other, but for some reason he doesn't,
For
and he's
whatever
like,
reason.
and they start looking to him like almost like he's the like a chosen or like the leader, and it just so happens that he was able to what become an ally of this lady who decided to denounce the basically the other world government and try to make her own city and make
Hmm.
her own stuff like a leader. Like it was just, I was like, this is deep as like this is so fucking weird and roundabout how all this shit works, right? uh,
Yeah, and then speaking of Wyvers, definitely one of my favorite characters from the season was definitely Alice the Star Runner.
oh
That
my,
that guy right
he
there.
the only reason like he's so cool. Like a wyvern, a wyvern rogue treasure hunter. I was like,
Yes.
what type of shit?
What type of shit is
But
this?
they made it work so well, and it's just so fucking cool. Like
Yeah.
he's a blue wyvern with an extra arm, but he because of his deformity and whatever, he got shunned, and he was like, "But you know what? I'm gonna become that guy. I'm gonna
I'm
just do
become
it,"
that guy.
and he did.
My favorite thing about the show was just how they get, everybody had they all these crazy titles and stuff. And I just love that.
Honestly, that is
Alice the Star Runner. They also call him Three Armed Alice as well. And it was something else. Regina called him as well. Regine called him as well. I just love that. Like the title trope. I always love that in anime, and I just love that in this show.
yeah. I was about to say every threatening person has a title, and it's so like cool. just to see like how their name, how like they themselves work off their name or anything like that, like what it could tell you off of it. So
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And then when they introduced Nihilo, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I see why McMillian like this show now. I said, here it is right here. I was like, there go the
is
character.
that the Spider Girl?
Yeah.
Oh, surprisingly not my favorite character though, but she was interesting. I'm not gonna lie, she was hella interesting because it's in a fantasy world when you have like fantasy mixed with high technology, it's always so interesting how those two things like react. Because some people could be like, "Oh, it's an extended version of magic," or like some other thing. So like to see her whole thing, I was like, "That's super interesting."
Yeah.
Her and the priest are probably some of like the most interesting, like the two most interesting characters.
Yes, but yeah, that priest that I think maybe the only person that can get him is probably Kia, but then it's like she would have to have knowledge of like who he is though, right? Unless her world will still somehow affects the angel for whatever reason.
Yeah, that which I'd be very interested to see because like, is it even a part? Can it? How would that work? Is it a part of the world? Like, is like would it even?
Exactly. There you go. Like, can a being technically not? Well, I guess maybe that is already out of the case because there's other worlds that's in this world. So maybe that's already out the pictures, right? It can affect other worlds, but she's technically like not even from this realm, right? Like she's
Mhm. She's not a human.
Yeah.
As far as we know currently, she's not human. As far as we know, she is an actual divine. Like his angel is an actual divine
She
being.
is sentient, if you will.
Yeah, like that's fucking wild to think about how this will play out. Because like
they even gave the angel a title. That shit was crazy.
yes,
Shit
I was
fire.
what the fuck. I was like, granted, like the priest is the only one that probably knows it, so I'm just like, what the hell? But that's how wild this fucking show is. So, oh man,
Oh man, but yeah, I think the characters were really done. Even though we don't, like you say, for some of these characters, we don't get, of course, all the screen time with them, but of course, because some of them gotta die, right? It's a battle royale,
oh
everybody's not
yeah,
gonna make it, right? Um, but every character that we did get, though, I think they did a great job of making each one of them unique and at least somewhat interesting, right?
what that the fucking living the sentient wood. I forget
The
it's
magpie, the mandrake, I meant.
the mandrake.
Yes.
The mandrake, for instance. I was like, that's. I mean, that's a really cool origin story. Like just to be like a magical creature that was taken and forced to fight, but you just got like better at it.
He didn't want to die.
He didn't want to die. I was like, that was such a cool like thing. I mean, granted, unfortunately he did end up dying in the most interesting way because I did not expect it to be like that.
They did my boy dirty.
They did.
They did my boy dirty. Even though I didn't expect the mandrake to live that long, the way they took him out was dirty. I don't agree with that.
They did. I thought it was. I would say this. I was like, man, I was pretty upset, but I was also like, I mean, I can't fault. I was like, I can't necessarily say they didn't set it up. Like it made sense.
That's why I said there was a lot of technicality deaths as well in the battles.
But like that was really cool. Like we only like I said in my spoiler free review, but like we only get a certain like amount of time with these characters, and obviously like some of them even less so because obviously people are going to die.
Mhm.
But it was just really, it's honestly every one of the characters they introduced, I had some interest in. Even like
Mhm.
the most mundane like of the people, they did a really good job making me somewhat invested in their story. Now, like not super invested, obviously, but like
Yeah.
enough to care to see like what are you gonna do here? Like what is
Mhm.
what is gonna be like your how far are you gonna make it? I guess like in this story, right? Like how like what's your deal basically almost, and
Um,
that's probably like one of the strongest points of it.
100%. The biggest plot twist at the end of the series is gonna be when comes out and reveals she was the true hero all along.
That'd be wild as hell. That would be wild as fuck. Considering she herself even said like my only like my greatest ability is being able to like send shit far far and straight with magic. Like that's her
I'm
shit.
telling you. I'm telling you. She's just gonna pop up at the end. It was me all along. You fools.
I just threw a rock one day and it just happened to crack the skull of the Demon King. We're here, and here we are.
Oh man. So what did you think about the battle at the end of the season here with Lithia versus Arthurania, is I believe that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, what do you think about the little mini war that we got?
It was as a thing that they were building up to, like for most of the I guess it was all of the season. It was nice. Like I said, it was kind of cool to see all these characters that we got introduced to face off against each other, and
Yeah.
we got to really see like what exactly happens when you put two extremely powerful characters against each other and see how they come out on top. And like you said, you get a lot of technicalities like wins, but like honestly, with characters like these, that makes sense. So, because like, and some of them are straight hands, but others, what the fuck you gonna do to an angel? Who are you? Who are you seeing?
Like, it's just that, yeah. What were you saying about last week we was talking about My Hero? He just got the matchup difference, all right?
Exactly. Like it sometimes you get countered, and that's how it is.
It is what it is. But yeah, because that's the same thing. I thought that's definitely what I thought about for Tyrene. I was like, damn, she don't even get to go out in a fair fight or nothing. Just not even getting jumped by a group of soldiers or nothing. Just straight angel of death. Like, goddamn. Mm-hmm. Just sad. And then I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it, but goddamn it, I'm gonna say it.
Oh no.
the sub story for Regine, him and Kurt or Cortez, whatever this girl name is. Why do we need it? It felt just like the whole situation with Miriam and the old girl to me from Hunter x Hunter.
I mean,
pointless.
Like I said, it framed an interesting thing of this, like character wise, like they were interesting characters, but at the end of the day, like it didn't. That was probably like one of the only that was probably one of the only two characters I really didn't like, overall, because like at the end of their story, nothing that happened to them kind of mattered, which sucks. Like, because like they had an interesting thing, like this girl, this wyvern who survived like a maddening spell or something that was happening, the only one, ends up meeting this blind girl who also, I would assume, survived the same shit because her whole town was gone, and nothing else other than like they just end up dying with each other. Like that's their story. And I was like, that's sad. I do feel sad, but like other than that, like I mean, like
it was like the way they did it. Like, yeah, they made this moment sad, but like, do I really care about this though? Like, not really.
Like, yeah, but that's one of the ones that like I felt like if you gave it more time, maybe it could have been better. But also
maybe. Yeah,
but they didn't get enough. They didn't get enough love. So like when they just died, I was like, all right. I mean that
especially on top of how old girl died. Like I guess it was a straight shot from old boy, but still.
Well, I mean she didn't have to die because the guy wasn't actually going to do anything, but then she insulted him, and Alistar shot her. I was like, why this nigga's petty? This motherfucker. Oh my god.
Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Like, come on, like, can we innocent women and children here. We just all right, okay, you got it. You the man with the gun, not me. I don't tell you what to do with it. You right. You right.
This you, big dog.
You got it. And me personally, I don't think I would have, took that shot. But hey, to each his own, right? Man, it's a lot. Like I said, a lot. In my person, a lot of deaths. I knew it was gonna be deaths, But I don't know, man. The way some of these guys went out is just like, why y'all had to sneak a lot of these characters, right? Like, or not even necessarily sneak. Well, it was two sneaks. Okay, yes, two sneaks. And Taryn, unfortunately, she just had the matchup difference.
Yeah.
And then the way old girl Vortical Stampede went down, that was like clockwork. It was written from like
Oh
I
yeah.
could just see it coming. Like, oh man. It was nice though. Her character was nice though, but I could just see her death coming the way it was gonna play. I was like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. And then at the same time, I already knew that Soljiro, he was gonna be like one of the main characters, or that we was gonna follow for this series, especially after episode 1, right? You don't show him doing all this, and we don't follow him at least for a little
Yeah.
bit, right? So, I knew he was gonna be one of the main standout characters. I, the little bone road guy, he seems cool, but I mean, there doesn't seem anything special about him other than, I mean, he's a
Undead
master
warrior.
spearman. Like,
Oh
I mean, I
yeah.
don't know what else to say.
I mean, it'll be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, you're right. It's technically an undead soldier. It'll be interesting if anything happens after, like, to develop that more. But yeah,
I don't know what to say about that one. But definitely I'm interested to, for next season to see what other crazy, characters are gonna get introduced as well. I wonder if we're gonna actually get to the tournament next season, or whenever I'm pretty sure hopefully we start a tournament next season, but hopefully essentially what I'm saying is I'm wondering when we're gonna start this tournament, especially
yeah.
considering we still got a ton of characters we gotta get
I was
introduced
about to say,
to.
like, it's so funny because I think with like the end of the season, I was like, I felt like they didn't show half the people that they teased in the opening of this goddamn show.
At all. Um, so before as we round this season up here in the discussion, was there anything about this show that you didn't like? For me, I will say the beginning half could have been a little bit better paced, but other than that, I don't think I have too many complaints. Other than
Honestly,
I guess, like I said earlier, just the way some of my guys died, I think they just got dead wrong. But
uh,
that's just more of a nitpick, and then I think something was wrong with it.
I was about to say, honestly, I think the only nitpick I really had that kind of just throws it off is the beginning half, because when you start a show like that fast and
Hmm.
kind of thing, like, and then the
Yeah.
next episode isn't doesn't at least have some of that energy, you kind of
Well, it depends. I think Alice was episode 2 or 3. That episode definitely had a lot of hyped energy and fast action in it
okay,
and
yeah, that's
stuff.
fair. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I think where like the loss of momentum
But
is
overall,
probably
100, because I mean I get what you're saying though, because I got the same sentiment though, 100%.
yeah, because I still liked it. Like, the thing that kept me going, I just really like world building, and
Hmm.
so like this show did a lot of that. So I didn't really necessarily with it when it got slow, it didn't hit me too bad because I was as interested in what they were talking about as far as like building up the world and the story.
Hmm.
But for someone who it could take a while for you to get invested, I could definitely see them being like, "Hey man, I couldn't really like get into it that heavily." Like, it took them a while. I could see someone be like, "I liked it, but it did take me a while to get into it." I could see someone saying that, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably the only gripe I got.
Okay. Okay. Anything you want to say about any other characters that we may not have touched upon before we wrap this up here?
Okay.
I believe we touched upon everybody. I believe the only person who we really didn't touch upon is oh girl Kia's quote unquote teacher, but I cannot remember her name right now. But
Elia?
yeah, is that her name? Elia?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the story between her and well no, we did touch upon Elia a little bit earlier, because
Because
I
you
was
said, I
talking
mean, you
about,
technically did say
yeah,
like she's the daughter of a succubus, so like,
yeah. I remember now. Yeah, we did touch upon her a little bit earlier, but I do think that their story was one of the more interesting plot lines throughout the season as well,
yeah,
though.
I will say, like, when you have a character that powerful and then her caretaker and is like, I need to keep her a secret basically until the tournament, it's
Hmm.
very interesting to see how that unfolds. And I was like, yeah, she cold. Like, out here killing past students, lying to like when she was like, we're gonna come back and like visit our friends, right? Yeah, and I'm like, that girl is. dead. Like,
I was like,
super
dang,
dead.
that lady dead as hell. She can just lie on like that with a straight face, just all like, yeah,
I was like, oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
We're
I was
gonna
like,
come
oh
back
my
and visit her
god.
right after this. I
Right
was like,
now,
damn, that
son.
lady gone.
Oh.
Crazy. And I knew she was gonna get her, but then it's a part of me was just like, maybe she gonna get Laura's gonna get away. Right?
just maybe. Nah.
Just maybe, man. A part of me was like, you can do it, you can do it. But yeah, but all right, everybody. So once again, Ishura, we gave it a 7 out of 10 for the season 1. And it was a solid season.
Mhm.
It has its ups and it has its downs, but as we say on the show all the time, it's not the best shit ever, but
It's not the
it's a
bad
good
shit
watch
ever.
though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good watch though. But all right, everybody. So with all that being said, we're going to be heading on to my favorite part of the show, everybody. It is now time for GOC News, your weekly source for your favorite anime news. So let's get into it. All right, everybody. Once again, welcome back for news. So we're gonna start us off with some general news here, and I'm gonna hand it off to McMillian, who's gonna talk about his love child that has passed away here recently.
Oh, I was like, wait, what are we talking about? Yes. So you may have heard me talk about this before on the podcast, I think, but there was supposed to be an action anime, MMORPG coming out to the States soon. Unfortunately, it died in Japan. Blue Protocol, which is a game that basically is going to end service beginning of next year, and they canceled the Western release. So if you were looking forward to the release of Blue Protocol and you're just now hearing about this from us, I do apologize that I had to give you this terrible news. But it is it's gone. They sunsetted it. It's not coming.
It is gone, children. Yeah. So the quest for me and McMillian to look for a new MMO to play together is still ongoing. Everybody, maybe 5 years down the line, when all these other MMOs that's in production now, come out, maybe one of them will be good, right?
That or Final Fantasy, or we'll jump on the Final Fantasy 14 train.
We're seriously thinking about jumping on the Final Fantasy train. We're right there. When I get some free time, we might just hop in there. We might just. But moving on from here, everybody, just want to let everybody know that this weekend, Aniplex Online Fest is going to be going on this week from September the 14th through the 15th, everybody. So, look out for maybe some potential big announcements from Aniplex Online. And then for all my 86 fans out there, there's a chance.
Fingers crossed. Because again, I bought some of them light novels. They will get read. If this shit don't come back, it will get read.
Please, Aniplex, hurry up.
Even actually, you know what? No, because that'll incentivize them not to do it. Aniplex, if you bring this shit back, I will watch and read. You will get my money either way.
You get my money.
Just make that shit, please.
Just make it. Just make it 100%.
All right. But moving on, last two pieces of like general news. The creator of Magi, Shinobu Otaka's Orient manga, which also had an anime. I don't know if it's continuing. I do know it had like 2 seasons, I think, or at least a season. Orient apparently, but regardless, the manga for Orient is coming to an end on October 9th. So we have another series of in the manga slowly coming to an end here. And then also for Transformers fans and Studio Trigger fans, Studio Trigger recently did a teaser for Transformers 40th anniversary. It seems like they may potentially be working on an anime for Transformers. That is what this teaser seems to be. So for those that don't know, Studio Trigger has done a lot of cool shit. Delicious in Dungeon is one of their projects. For them to make a Transformers anime would probably be lit as hell. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And actually, we got one more thing for general news here. Speaking of anniversaries, everybody, it is the 20th anniversary of the Bleach anime, and there is a special project that's going to be on the way here. I'm going to read this announcement here.
Oh, okay.
The TV anime Bleach was broadcast from 2004 to March 2012, and a total of 4 movie versions have been released so far. This year marks the 20th anniversary and the 3rd anime of the final chapter, 1,000 Year Blood War. It's scheduled to be broadcast in 2024, a few weeks from now, actually. coming here in October. To commemorate the 20th anniversary, a special project that transcends the boundaries of the original work and anime has started, everybody. Is this a sequel? Is this a remake? Who knows? But a new project in lieu of the 20th anniversary for the Bleach anime, is in the works. Of course, once we get any some more information on this, probably in the coming months, whatever, we'll let you guys know. But look forward to a new Bleach project coming out sometime in the future.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Now, for new series news, Netflix's Terminator anime has started streaming. It started last week, I believe, on Friday. So if you have not checked that out, that may be
I'm
something.
have to check that out, definitely.
Yeah, I was like, that might be something you might be interested in. A live action Oshinoko series has been announced. It's going to be getting 8 episodes, and it'll be premiering on November 28th. Last but not least, a new Shonen Jump manga has been released that a lot of people are kind of excited for. It's called Ichi the Witch. It began. It just released simuldub on the Shonen Jump app yesterday. It's written by the author of Welcome to Demon School, Aruma-kun, and the artist from a manga that was called Act Age, which a lot of people liked, but unfortunately got canceled due to the author. But the artist is back working on a new project. The series focuses on the only male magical user in a world full of female magic users. I fortunately, yesterday when it came out, I did read the first chapter. It's good. Not even gonna lie to you. It's actually more than meets the eye. It's more than just about like this one guy who can use magic in a world full of girls that can use magic. It has an interesting. It actually has a very interesting premise. I don't want to spoil.
Gotcha.
I think people should check it out. It's a very strong first chapter.
All right. Well, there we go. Maybe once some more chapters out, you maybe do a little mini review or something and get on there here.
I will let the people know.
All right. Well, everybody, now to our last section of anime news. We talk about some upcoming future releases here. So once again, like I just mentioned, Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War Part 3 is going to be premiering on October the 5th, everybody, as well as the Gundam Origin anime film is going to be premiering on September the 13th.
Yeah, it's get a couple compilation films, the Gundam Origin series. Crunchyroll is going to be streaming the new Spy Family Code White anime film on September 5th. So by the time this is out, it'll already be streaming. So if you have not seen the movie, you can find it on Crunchyroll now. Ray Zero's third season, which is split into 2 cores. One being called the Attack Arc, which is going to be premiering on October 2nd, and the next is also called the Counter Attack Arc, which is going to be premiering on February 5th in 2025. So look out for that.
Cool. All right, everybody. And then rounded off here, we got season 2 of 7 Deadly Sins, Naturally the Apocalypse, is going to be premiering on October the 6th, as well as Ishura season 2. Everybody got announced for a January 2025 release. Hey, that's crazy. Look at that. We were just talking about that.
I was just about to say, yep. And then last but not least, Dragon Ball Daima will be premiering on October the 11th. So
correct. And then I believe we forgot it as well on here, but Shangri-La Frontier season 2 is going to be premiering in October as well. So definitely check that out.
We did talk about that before. I just forgot.
Bring it up again.
Yeah, no, you're right. Remind the people because it's good.
Bring it up again. Well, everybody, that is the end of anime news for this week. Please let us know down below in the comments what was your favorite piece of news, and if we missed anything that we did talk about for this week's news. And of course, now I'm gonna hand it off to McMillian, who's gonna be giving out this week's weekly recommendation.
Yep. So this week's weekly recommendation is fairly new. It came out within this season of anime. Suicide Squad Isekai. Basically, it's a Suicide Squad story you know and love. But the team this time gets sent into a magical world to harvest materials for Amanda Waller. But unfortunately, or fortunately for us, there is a war going on in this magical world, and the Suicide Squad team has to deal with that before they can get the minerals they want to bring back to their regular world. It's honestly, a lot of times when anime and comic books combine, usually sometimes it's a little bit of an issue. This story, really good, really entertaining. I loved every episode of it. It's a short one. It's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's 10 or 11 episodes. Only one season out right now. It's currently streaming on Max and Hulu, so you can find it there. It's subbed in different languages and dubbed in English and Japanese. So you can, if the dubbed is actually pretty good. I watched it, but I watched both actually. So both voice portrayals are fairly strong. I think the jokes hit a bit.
Would you recommend this to non-DC fans?
Yes, I would. I would honestly probably recommend it to non-DC fans, because I think it does a pretty good job of illustrating some of the characters actually in a really good way, but also like including like the anime tropes and making them work, because that's usually where I think the break comes, when you have like American comic books and anime stuff. Some of the anime tropes don't
necessarily translate from comic book to anime and stuff like that.
That it doesn't blend well, but I think they did a really good job of keeping like the DC comic books to characters to their core, but also including like the silly or weird stuff that happens, in certain anime stories. So I think they did a great job with that. So please check it out. Again, that is Suicide Squad Isekai. You can find it on Max and Hulu.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for that. And speaking of dubs, and I just thought about this. I almost forgot to mention it. But the dub for Ishura was actually pretty damn great. So if you do check it out, definitely watch the dub. The dub was great.
Yep.
But all right, everybody, and now we're gonna be heading into our last topic of the day, everybody. Our featured anime of the season, My Hero Academia season 6, everybody. And just once again, everybody, our featured anime for the season, all that means is just whatever show is the featured anime for the season. We're gonna be following along with that show all week. Well, not all week, all season, every week until the show is over with, no matter what else we're talking about. So just like this week we'll talk about Ishura. At the end of the show we're also gonna be talking about My Hero. And just like last week we talked about Delicious in the Dungeon, but then at the end of that show we talked about My Hero as well. So that's all that means. We just, it's just a seasonal show that we're going to be keeping up with, for the entire season, essentially. So yeah, we're going to be today, we're going to be discussing My Hero episode 153 and 154, everybody. The Butterfly Effect and the Chain Thus Far. It's going down. It's going down.
Yeah, that is. I was gonna say that's an understatement, because shit is hitting the fan.
It is going down.
And shit is hitting the fucking fan. My God.
So unfortunately, our boy, what's his name? I can't remember the guy, but Kurogi is free though. I was trying to think about the guy who freed him. The
Spinner.
Thank you. Unfortunately, Spinner made his way to Kurogi and he was able to free him. And Kurogi has now teleported everywhere to where all the villains at, and they done pulled everybody to Gunko, the Gunko battle arena, right? So Dabi's there now, Toga's there now, and she has taken twice his blood and now twice is running around everywhere.
I was about to say it's a lot worse. Also, President Mike, it's not actually President Mike's issue. Heroes, when a villain twitches or anything, hit him again. Like I'm tired of him getting back up.
Sometimes, unfortunately, as unhumane as it is, sometimes you just gotta hit him with the double tap.
Because Spinner, at the moment, if I was President Mike, the moment I saw Spinner lurch, I would have
stop his ass back down. Like, man, don't you move?
Because that pissed me off. I was like, why? Why are we not?
Man, he wouldn't even got the chance messing around with me, boy. I would have dragged him out the room.
Yes. Why are we? I was like, I don't care if the device is destroyed. Why are we giving him any option? Like,
let's go ahead and get you up out of here, big dog. You had a nice shot at that.
But regardless, yes, shit has hit the fan. Hirogiri is back, and he immediately went to gather the ops. He said,
immediately.
I'm getting the band back together.
Immediately. So now we got some new matchups that's going on. So now we're actually gonna get the Dobby versus what's his name? Endeavor. There we go.
Okay.
I don't know why I was going to say All Might for some reason. Now we're about to get the Dobby versus All Might. Somehow we ended up with a Hawks versus All for One that's going on right now. But I think that's going to hopefully turn into Hawks and Friends versus All for One.
I mean, they kind of teased. It was not teased it, but they've been like, All for One has been like technically egging or like taunting Hawks anyway. I think for like the last couple episodes. Granted, it was him and Endeavor, but he has been talking shit to both of them for like the last 2 episodes. So it's not like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, it didn't come out of nowhere. But yeah, and then Toga, she is now just running amok on the island. She's running amok. And this is the problem. This is the problem that we foresaw. Thankfully, you know, twice all the clones are just staying twice, and you know they're not grabbing other people and cloning it in them and shit. Then that'll get crazy, right? Because then now we don't know who's friend, who's foe, and shit's just gonna get dicey from here.
I mean, it would be crazy if it went that far to the point where Toga could like if her quirk could do the evolution of Twice's quirk, that'd be fucking ridiculous. I don't think you're winning at that point.
And then to put the icing on the cake, they also popped up at the Death and what was it? Tombstone in the Sky.
Tomb in the Sky. I think it's Tomb in the Sky.
They also popped up over there where Deku is fighting Shigaraki right now, and Shigaraki has his quirks back for the time being. Thankfully, he's kind of incapacitated, but he also does has his quirks back. Though.
Well, I was about to say I don't know if he wasn't really incapacitated.
He's more stunned, if you will.
Yeah,
I guess.
I was about to say the way we ended off on the episode. Yeah, kind of, but we won't. I won't skip that far ahead. Yeah. Yes, shit's rocky because. Also, I just want to know how does Kirogiri? I can kind of believe he can figure out where his friends are. Why did he know exactly where to drop the Twice clones in the Tomb in the Sky? That bothered me. That shit, I was like, how the fuck did he know to go exactly to
the heart of the cards?
Exactly there.
The heart of the cards.
Because I was just like, there's
my boy left it up to fate, man.
Man, if I was fucking Eraserhead, I'd be mad as shit. Because like, how the fuck you just gonna drop this army on my
pissed, royally pissed right now, bro.
Man, like. Wait,
you just turn around, you just see President Mike just falling out the sky, and now just a ton of Twices, and you just
Twices blinding you, taking.
We gave you one job, Mike. One job.
Like, and my thing is like, I'm not even near the villain. Like, I'm leagues away. I'm just staring at his bitch ass, and you just how the fuck you gonna bring your ass over here?
Yeah, let's just be happy he didn't grab off one and pull him to the Tomb in the Sky.
Yeah, no, I was real worried about that. That was
just be glad that didn't happen.
I'm be real with you. I was real scared that was what was about to happen. I was about to be shit. All right, like what's this about? What's this about to look like? Goddamn it.
Like I said, man, listen, I'm still waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. I know All for One gonna do something crazy before he dissipate, into, you know, with his old body. I know he gonna do something crazy before he dissipate with his old body. I'm still waiting on it. I know what's coming.
Yeah,
I know what's coming.
Yeah, but I will say this last episode was the chain thus far. That shit, besides the shit that was going on with Kirogiri, that shit was hype as fuck. When when I tell you, I ain't give 2 shits about La Brava and Gentle. But when I saw that nigga bouncing up and down in the ocean,
almost brought a tear to my eye.
In the ocean, my nigga.
Almost brought a tear to my eye.
And then he caught that shit. I was like, oh my!
I was like, look at that boy.
I was like, fuck the hero rankings. That nigga #1 right there.
I said, these are the moments that my hero was built for, right here. This moment right here.
Exactly. Exactly. I was like, oh, this is the shit. This is when my hero's at its best.
My boy looked at me. He said, "Are you still fighting up there, young man?"
I was like, when they got introduced, I ain't give a fuck. Them's my niggas.
Raw. Listen, that man came through. Gentle came through. He held it down. Gentle came through. He held it down. He said, "Listen, if you still up there fighting for somebody else's smile, then guess what? I'm gonna fight for you too. Then I got your back. I got your back.
Talk your shit, Gentle. Talk your shit."
Yeah, it was great. Didn't they play? I don't know what OST it was, but somebody mentioned the OST. I guess it might have been for All Might if I remember correctly, like one of those in the All Might scenes. But the OST was amazing as well.
Yeah, no, man. They popped off. I was like, this is amazing. I was like, I didn't care about, I didn't get two shits about this character. But that right now, right now,
I'll die for Gentle.
Let somebody say some dumb shit about Gentle. Oh, man, I'm hopping in the shower. What the fuck?
100%. Listen, we should put him on the ranking list. Don't worry. When this season over, we'll go back down to the list.
Yeah.
We'll go back down to the list. Right there. Just put right there. Right there, we got a special place for you, Gentle, coming up. But I guess just go to a little bit deeper in there. I do love that not necessarily love. I do like how they brought back some of these old villains, if you will, both him and Lady Nagant, right? Just because the detective was talking about it. You know how you essentially, you got to look at the human side of villains, even though they are villains, they are still humans. Wonderful touch.
Yeah, he was basically like, at the end of the day, these are still people. Like,
yeah,
and I really liked. I'm really interested. Next episode, I need an explanation of how Lady Nagant survived. Like, what the fuck? Because they should.
Can we not just be happy that she?
I don't know. I am happy, but I'm just like, did she not blow up? Like, y'all showed her blow up in the sky. In the sky. Also, like,
it wasn't like a small little explosion either. Like, she blew up.
Yeah, but I'm just also saying, like, besides that, she was also like thousands of feet in the air. Like, so I'm gonna
need. Didn't Deku catch her though?
Did he catch her?
I believe he did.
Okay, I just don't remember that part
because I remember correctly.
I thought she smooth.
I believe he did.
I thought she smooth.
I don't. Listen,
I mean, regardless,
don't take my word for it. I said I believe he called her.
Regardless, still big explosion. I need to understand how the fuck she survived it. But regardless, the reveal and the backup, the fact that they had them people in their back pocket were amazing. Yes. And I am really interested to see how, like, their incorporation moving forward, like what that looks like. Even if it is just like this one assist, I'm still fine with that. But like, if it does go further than just this, I'm really interested to see how. And then two, what does Todoroki's new body do? Because he's out here shedding skin and shit.
Shigaraki.
What did I say? Todoroki? Yeah, Shigaraki.
You did say Todoroki.
Shigaraki. So what happens when you have characters that end with the same sound? But Shigaraki's new body, or like whatever is going on with him with the shedding and everything, like what does that allow?
Yeah, it almost looked like he popped back out for a few seconds, right? Like him, right? The full embodiment of Shigaraki. He popped back out.
Yeah, because that's what Deku said. He was like, this isn't like whatever the combined psyche of him and All for One is. This is like, that felt like him.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and then also another thing I did like about that scene was how he just straight up told Deku, "I'm your villain."
Yes.
Stop trying to always save everybody. I love that because I was hoping we wouldn't go the route with Deku's like sitting here really, and hoping he was going to be able to like save Shigaraki. And I'm just like, Deku, like, come on now. Well,
I'm fine. Well, I'm fine. I was about to say I would be fine with it, but it would have been more of like, I didn't want it to feel lazy. Like if they were going to do it, I just didn't want it to be like a cliche. If they like, this isn't you. You could be somebody. You don't have to be evil. I didn't want that.
Yeah,
because that's why I felt like we were gonna go. But like, I love the way that they did it, because I was just like, I like when I especially like when characters are like, hey, look, no bullshit. I'm a terrible person. Point blank period. You gonna have to kill me.
You gonna have to put me down.
It's simple yet effective. You did tell me everything I need to know right then and there. Okay.
Because this goes back to my point I was making last week, right? You know, sometimes we're all for one. Like sometimes it's great just to have a villain just because he's a villain, right? You don't need no other ulterior motive than that. He's just a bad guy. He's just a villain.
I prefer being a selfish person. Like that's legitimately like kind of what you said with One for All. Like I mean, All for One. He's like I'm like this way because I thought villains of comic books were cool and I wanted to see him win. That's simple point blank. And I was like, you know what? Hey, I don't agree with your reasoning, but I understand it. Exactly. I understand it. And I get it. And it don't gotta be more complicated than that.
Yep, and just like I'm a villain. Don't try to make it no complicated than that. No, I ain't no villain with a horrible backstory. Even though some of them still do have a horrible backstory. But at the end of the day, still like you say, I'm your villain, Deku. You're gonna have to deal with me. Yet maybe yes, I did have a sad upbringing, yes. But at the end of the day, I still did what I did. I'm not stopping. I'm still your villain. And what I really gonna do?
And what I really like about that is like because it's an acknowledgement of just like, yeah, I mean, Shigaraki has all this trauma, so like that. But at the end of the day, he's still a mass murderer. He's still, he's not a great person. He has made no want or effort to try and redeem himself. Like this is a shitty guy, and he knows he's shitty. Like that is just refreshing because I feel like a lot of shows nowadays or things like with heroes and villains, they're always like you can redeem people, and I'm not saying like that you can't or that it's not a compelling story, but sometimes a motherfucker is just a motherfucker. That's it.
It's just it. It's just it. And I'm glad that we got that reassurance from Shigaraki here. I was like, okay, there we go, Shigaraki. Let him hear
from the
what
horse,
he need to hear.
Exactly from the horse's mouth. From the horse's mouth. From this horse's mouth.
He need to hear.
His grandmama said, "Look, sometimes to save people, you gotta murder them." And right then and there, Deku should have known. If the grandma tell you,
should have known. Because listen, y'all better deal with him now before he mess around and start being able to move again. Because y'all saw what he did last time with his decay quirk. He's gotten stronger since then. So just imagine.
I'm about to say the man destroyed the whole city, the whole area,
city. A whole area of a city. Yes,
like
took a block out. He took a block out.
I was about to say that the goddamn fucking island ain't saying this shit.
That's what
y'all all going for a swim.
Everybody going for a swim. The only persons that would probably live is just anybody who can fly, right? Anybody that can fly, levitate, that's the only ones that's gonna survive. They're the only ones. And even then, even if you can fly, levitate, if you underground, right, where those kids are, it's gonna be hard to like get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
My dog is crying at something. I don't know what. What's up, man?
We almost done with the episode, Sebastian. That's what
we are. I'm gonna let him out. I don't know what was wrong with him. He could have walked past that little item that he was quote unquote stuck on, but it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, my hero is season 7 has been a blast for me, right?
Yeah,
this is exactly what I wanted because season 6 was great and it was leading up to this, right? So I was like, season 7 has to be a banger. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It has to be a banger.
Yeah. And it's been a very fun time. Very enjoyable watch. I look forward to it every week. So
before we head out of here, what you think about all the Endeavor glazing that we got going on? They really having Endeavor show out right now. This man done got a flame fist, and now he got flame wings. All of a sudden, he had laser eyes a couple of episodes ago. They cutting up with Endeavor right now.
I mean, I'm interested only because I'm pretty sure next episode, depending on who we choose to focus on, because we got so many people we could go to, but. If they choose to do Endeavor for whatever reason, I feel like with all this glazing that we about to get, that just means we about to get a really flashy OP ass final fight between him and Dabi, and I can't be mad at that. But also, this much, like, why does he need wings? We've seen him fly multiple times. Where'd the wings come from?
When he pulled out the wings, I said, all right. I said, all right. Yeah, I was like, he's just showing out now. Because when this man get wings?
I was like, I've seen this man fly multiple times throughout the series. He ain't never had wings before.
He never pulled these out before.
What?
Now all of a sudden he lose one arm and he want to grow wings. Like what?
Exactly. What is this?
Yeah, crazy. I was like, all right, they cutting up right now, man. And then the Dobby death scene probably gonna be crazy. I can see it now, man. I just see his body just wilting away, and just the fist and the head in there, just almost like the Tony Stark scene. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Not the Tony Stark. Well, yeah, I guess the Tony Stark scene, but I meant to say the Endgame scene though. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know what you meant.
So. Yeah, you know what I meant though. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably though. Yeah. Yeah, no.
I guess I'm telling you now. I can see it now. He's just gonna wither away into
I
the
can
wind.
too. It's very vivid. It's very vivid. It's very vivid.
He's just gonna wither away into the wind, man.
And then everybody in the Todoroki family is gonna start crying.
Yeah. And somehow it's gonna get caught on camera. I don't know how, but it's gonna get caught on camera somehow. I don't know how, but they're gonna get it on camera.
Indeed.
They gonna get it on camera. Yeah, but overall, everybody, season 7 is going great. Definitely excited for the next episode. Me, once again, I'm waiting for the All For One pop off. It gotta happen, right? You don't bring this man back in prime form and don't have him pop off in some type of way. That's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm definitely looking forward to that, especially seeing how Hawks and friends are about to deal with him.
Hawks and friends.
I mean, that's who it's got to be.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna have to be if they're gonna slow him down, because it ain't just gonna be Hawks.
Yeah, I was like, look, I love Hawks. I think he's
right now. He's a little handicapped.
That's exactly. I was like, that's not his matchup.
This ain't prime Hawks right now.
Exactly. I was like, that's not a good matchup for anybody, really. Anybody good day.
This is not prime Hawks. He is a little battered and handicapped at the moment. He is gonna need some help.
Yep.
He is gonna need some help. But all right, everybody. So that was the end of the show. Why don't you go ahead and take us on out here, McMillian?
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys, appreciate you for watching this last listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you want to stay up to all things about the count, excuse me. If you want to stay up to date on all things about the council, please consider following us on our social media. That is at Gurren Otaku's on Twitter and at Gurren Otaku Council everywhere else. If you sorry. To stay up to date with the release of the episodes, please consider following us on whatever streaming platform you may be listening to us on right now, as well as if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Let us know what you thought of Ishura, as well as these most recent episodes of My Hero. Summer season's kind of winding down here, guys, but it's going out strong. Can't wait to see what's coming in the fall. With all that being said, appreciate you all for watching. This is Gurren Otaku Council saying meeting adjourned. Peace out, everybody.